Hi, this is going to be the center of my cake. The cake will be named Orange Chocolate Beehive. We are going to use that base again, which is chocolate creme brulee. It's going to go in that mold, so I'm going to start pouring the base in the saucepan. And we are going to bring that to boil. That chocolate creme brulee base is made with Valrhona chocolate, which is one of the best chocolate in the world. And we are going to have a nice chocolate flavor that's going to go in that cake. What's great about that recipe is that basically you don't have to gather all the great ingredients, because all the great ingredients like the Valrhona chocolate is already in the recipe. So for you, all the work is done. The only thing you have to do is bring it to boil and use it for your dessert. This is going to give you a lot of time to do something else, like put a nice garnish, work on a garnish instead of working on gathering ingredients. Yes, anytime you use that mix in a professional kitchen, you are surrounded by great equipment like a steam kettle, and that's a great thing to use. You don't have to stay on top of your pot, and it's not going to burn. So this is now boiling and ready to be poured. So I am grabbing my sauce gun and I will fill the dome with it. I'm not going to go until the top because I don't want the whole center of the cake to be only creme brulee, since I'm going to be using an orange mousse as well. I am pouring the chocolate creme brulee mix in a flexi mold because after it will be placed in the freezer, it's going to be hard and very easy to unmold. And I will place that in the freezer. Okay, now we are going to prepare the base for the orange mousse. So for that mousse, you have basically a ratio of 1/3 of a fruit puree or juice, 1/3 of the mousse base, and 1/3 of heavy whipped cream. So I decided to do an orange mousse. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to prepare an orange base. I just took orange juice, and I will put some oranges as well to reinforce the orange flavor. Bring that to boil for a minute, and this is going to be my orange flavoring base, or fruit base if you will. So I bring that to boil for, like say a minute, and I will quickly cool it down before I will mix it with the mousse base. So turn it off. We place that in the freezer so it cools down. So I'm taking the mousse base. So I'm scaling the dessert base mousse that I need. And I took it out of the cooler because it needs to stay in the cooler in the process of making the mousse. So there's two things in that recipe that need to be very cold, is the mousse base and the heavy cream that I'm going to put as well and whip at the same time as the mousse base. So I put the exact same amount. And last will be this orange preparation that we did. That's already infused and cooled down. Now I'm going to place that in the mixer. So we put it in the mixer and we're going to whip that in a high speed for about 3 minutes. These are the inserts that we made earlier that will go inside of the cake. As soon as my mousse is ready, I will put some in the mold, in the flexi mold. I'm going to top it with the chocolate creme brulee insert and then place a little piece of a sponge that I already have prepared and soaked with a little bit of simple syrup. So we can take a look at the mousse. I mean, it's whipping absolutely marvelously. So you always want to keep it cold so it stays nice and firm like this. And basically the only thing I still have to do is push the inserts in. So we have a nice orange and chocolate little dessert. So one of the last part I need to do is basically close the cake. And for that I just add a little bit of mousse. And put the sponge on top. I'm pressing everything down, so like this, when I'm going to unmold the cake, it's going to be nice and smooth. And from there, this is going to go back in the freezer. I am going to make a caramel sauce. I'm going to use one of the products of Kukal. It's a liquid caramel, almost 100% of sugar. I mean, sugar and a little bit of water, so we don't have to worry too much about that when we cook. I will bring it to boil and introduce the same amount of heavy whipped cream into it. And by recooking it together and reduce it a little bit, it's going to make me the perfect caramel sauce. So once it's boiling, put my cream, so you don't have to worry. You know what, the problems that we have in our kitchen is making a caramel can be extremely dangerous. In this case, the caramel is done. You know, you don't have to worry about having several hundreds degrees caramel, you know, going on your hands. You just bring it to boil, add the heavy cream, and then it's going to be ready pretty soon. We're just going to reduce it down a little bit. So we're going to boil it for about a minute, just to evaporate a little bit of the water content that we have in the heavy cream. So that's up to you to reduce it also after to the thickness that you're looking for. And we're going to go in the fridge to cool it down. So I'm going to get ready to finish the Beehive. To do that, I will make an Italian meringue. Italian meringue is a cooked sugar with whipped egg white that I have in my mixer. So I need to bring that sugar at about 260 degrees and then pour it into the egg whites. So I'm going to let that meringue whip until a firm thick, and then I will be able to pipe it around my orange and chocolate cake. So of course, because it's going to be very hot, we're going to let it whip until it cools down. So we are going to finish the Beehive dessert. I will grab the cakes that I have in the freezer. And I'm going to pipe the meringue around those cakes. It's going to reveal the piping of what we just did. Looks like Beehive a little bit, right? So now we're going to place them in the cooler until they are totally thawed, and we are going to place them on the plate and do the plate up. I will take the caramel sauce that I did earlier and put some in the plate. So you can make any kind of design you want. You place the cake in the plate. And we are going to finish it with a nice little chocolate decor. I'm going to finish it with a little touch of whipped cream, because whipped cream is always good. Another tip to do the quenelle is to warm up the spoon with the torch. And you have now a nice dessert.